We have another ABC 17 storm track weather alert as I am tracking another tornado warning across the area. We have seen several warnings this evening, more in the forecast as we are seeing this storm system. Right now, this tornado warning is overhead of Morgan as well as Miller County.
11:37 into Wardsville, 11:44, again right around 11:44. That's when it's going to be rolling into the capital city. We need you in your safe space now. You have 20 minutes to get everything that you need.
From the National Weather Service, they've upgraded this tornado warning to a potential catastrophic, large, violent tornado. They've added what they call a catastrophic tag. So this is likely a very large and violent tornado bearing down on the city of Jefferson City, one of, as Kevin has already said, one of our most densely populated regions. So everyone in Jefferson City, everyone near Wainwright, everyone near North Jefferson, along that Highway 54, Highway 50 connector need to be in their safe places right now because we're looking at a very, very dangerous situation here in the capital.
I'm going to try and get as close as I can for you guys right now. Look at this damage that has been done. All these power lines are down. My heart is breaking right now.
Breaking news on ABC 17 News this morning. Time right now is 1:59. We, of course, are continuing to follow after the tornado outbreak that we have been seeing all across mid-Missouri. Right now, emergency crews are working to assess some damage in parts of Jefferson City. Of course, that's where we've been seeing some of the heaviest and the hardest hit damage in the area.
The devastation is real here. I am standing here. This is Lakeisha. She runs the only 24-hour daycare in Jefferson City.
We have, 78 students that attend the daycare overnights, weekends, and the building is gone.
We're right off of 54 as you're coming in from the Eldon and Eugene area. I'm gonna step off this camera. I'm gonna have my photog here pan around. You can see Ameren's obviously here. Power lines are down. I was out here 30 minutes after all this happened. I've been here 25 years, and this is definitely a surreal moment for me, and I know a lot of people in this area as well. This place was flooded with people about an hour ago as people were getting out of their homes and everything to come look at the damage.
We do want to give you a look right now. If you want to look right here, you can see the down power line. This one completely snapped in half, and you can see the power lines down on the road. I'll have my photographer, Johnny, pan across here. You can see the lines are just sitting down. This is Jackson Street we're looking at.
You can see right behind me, this is a car that was obviously right in the middle of what is said to be a tornado right here in Jefferson City. I am on Ellis Boulevard. Now you can see just the damage that was done. Every window of this van is completely shattered out. Wood chips are in the side of this van right here.
I'm Jared Lee. I work at Riley Chevrolet in Jefferson City. I'm the business manager, and we're seeing some devastating losses tonight.
Devastating. This is actually his office.
My office right here, and which is no longer. So.
And if you get close enough and you listen closely enough, you can hear the water and the sprinklers.
This is our delivery area right here that we store our new cars in ready for delivery. The glass is in the walls. The shards are in the walls. These cars were brand new hours ago.
It's bad, obviously. Could be a lot worse, and could have been people here and people hurt or killed. So it can all be rebuilt. So it's not a major thing.
Absolutely, and that will to rebuild here in Jefferson City is already apparent this morning.
Last time I left you guys, we were just kind of assessing the damage at Riley Chevrolet. We are now at the Toyota dealership. Take a look at what this storm did. You can see that it has twisted up and mangled these brand new vehicles, and you can essentially see where the storm really came through because there's a pattern. I'm going to take Jack this way just a little bit. There's a pattern. You see these are up like this. Well, so are these cars and these trucks down here. This was a brand new car. Brand new. They said not one vehicle on this lot is not completely damaged.
I am here right now with Task Force 1 team leader Doug Westhoff. Hello. Give us the rundown right now of what are you doing right now? What are search and rescue efforts like right now?
Right now, we're focused primarily on Hawthorne Apartments, which is just down Ellis here. We're augmenting Jeff City Fire resources. Our teams are working together. There's a dozen or 14 fourplexes there in that apartment complex that have some significant damage. It requires that we go from unit to unit, both on the lower level and the upper level. Some of those buildings are damaged enough that they required structural assessment by a structural engineer before we felt comfortable in entering. Some decisions have to be made about where we can and can't go and be safe with that. We're running canines down there right now. We don't have any indications that we have anybody trapped. We don't have any indications that anybody's missing. This is a peace of mind and a comfort, since that is the most seriously impacted area that we've identified thus far as having people in that immediate area when that tornado touched down.
Here's a look at the rough timeline. You can see 11:10. That's where that initial siren went off. 11:39, there was a confirmed large tornado near Jefferson City. This was via the National Weather Service. 11:40, we saw that reactivated siren, and then 11:47, the first damage reports came in. So it does seem quick moving, but really it took 9 minutes to go 2 miles. So it was fairly slow moving track, as we have seen a lot of damage in the path of this tornado.
Deborah, think about that. If it stays this way, 5 injuries in a city of about 45,000 people with a tornado that hit the city, the capital city, and if it remains at that, how amazing will that be?
Absolutely, and I think that's what we're all hoping for at this point, especially on the anniversary of the very deadly Joplin tornado.
More than 150 people killed in that EF5 tornado that hit on the same day that this one hit last night in Jefferson City versus the one that happened 8 years ago in Joplin.
I do also want to mention that we've been wall-to-wall coverage since almost around 7 o'clock last night. In about 1 minute, it's going to be 5 o'clock at the top of the hour, and we're going to continue our coverage this morning. Now, we want to show you some images from Pulaski County. That's where some more damage has been reported. Some of the images, pretty incredible.
It may be hard for you to see. These are coming from the Tri-County Fire Protection District. A lot of what you're seeing there is debris in the weeds, and now you see debris in the trees. Some of it looks like siding, perhaps.
At Thomas Jefferson Middle School, we're in the gymnasium. I'm going to give you a look at what's going on right now. These are all volunteers. They're working furiously to get cots set up for the people here who have come to Thomas Jefferson Middle School for shelter. We're told, I was just told in the last 10 minutes, about 45 people have shown up here to the school. Don, what's the morning been like so far?
Well, since about midnight, it's been pretty hectic. I started from the basement of my house to over to our office, got a whole bunch of supplies. I brought them over here. We're going to start registering people and getting them settled into a shelter.
And what kind of supplies are we talking about? I've seen food, I've seen housewares.
We got food, we got water, we've got what we call comfort kits. That's toiletries and things like that, toothbrushes. We'll see what else we can get.
You can't step anywhere without stepping on something that does not belong there, whether it be wood, power lines, trash, glass. This is honestly a very unsafe area. As you can see, these power lines down right here, I am told they are dead power lines, but if you are in this area, I know a lot of people are starting to wake up. They're going to want to know what happened. Please, please, please avoid this area if you can. We'll do the best job that we can to show you what is going on, but this is still a very active area.
Mayor Carrie Turgeon is coming. Mayor Turgeon, hi. Hey, how are you? Hey, Lucas with ABC 17 News. Hi, it's good to see you. We're live right now for ABC 17 News this morning. Do you mind just giving an update to the people out there of what's going on right now in the city?
Well, as you can see, a lot of devastation right now, and we are assessing this. We've been working through the night. Public safety officials, Jefferson City Police and fire departments have been working all night long, and agencies from cities all around mid-Missouri have converged, and all hands on deck, and they're working through the situation.
We've been hearing a lot of reports, sorry Ashley, of minor injuries to people so far. Is that what you're hearing as well? Do you know the extent of as far as people being hurt from this storm?
So far, like you, I've only heard minor, which is amazing considering the extent of the damage that you can see. And so I hope that is the case. We're certainly praying that that's the case.
We are outside of Hawthorne Apartments. I want to show you the damage that this tornado has caused to these residents at Hawthorne Apartments here. Sarah has our camera. She's going to turn it so we can see the damage to these apartments. The roof completely gone. Now this is just evident right here as to why our meteorologists say to stay on the lowest level if you can, and go to the back of the house in those rooms that are away from windows, away from doors, because this right here is what could happen. Luckily, we know right now that every resident was able to get out safe, and we don't know how many of these residents were injured when this tornado blew through. I'm going to show you behind me. You can see this is the pool from Hawthorne Apartments. That iron fence is torn down as well, and this one looks to be a lot of damage as well. As you can see, there's actually water gushing through. I'm not sure if you can kind of hear it in the background. Looks like pipes maybe have bursted when this tornado went through.
First of all, I think most of you should know there's a lot of devastation throughout the state last night. A lot of damage here in Jefferson City. We had fatalities over in southwest Missouri area last night. Multiple injuries that were reported over the night, and still trying to assess the damage that's out there today.
And I want to show you, we are getting our first look in the daylight hours of Simonson 9th Grade Center. Take a look at it's just battered by the storm. Windows, basically most every single window here at Simonson 9th Grade Center busted out.
I'm here with Governor Mike Parson. He just got to the scene, at least for the first time that I have seen. Is this your first time assessing this damage, at least here on Ellis Boulevard?
It is. We're just kind of out this morning. Once we got daylight, we kind of see what the damages are. You know, last night we've been getting reports all night long, but this is the first time we've really been out to be able to see the damage and just the devastation that this caused up here last night.
And then I saw you talking to several members of Task Force 1. What's their take on all of this?
Yeah, you know, we're just so thankful to have Task Force 1 here and the people on the ground and what they're doing, you know, and you seen last night, you know, things did work well last night all the way through the emergency management side of it to the public safety side of it, and just so many people were involved, and we were so fortunate we didn't have more serious injuries than we have, and thank goodness we had no fatalities. So apparently the system worked last night, but still a lot of work to do today and the days to come.
We will get through this. It will take time. So we do ask for the prayers. This is the worst I've seen it since I've been here. And as I look over here at the older part of town, I can just feel a sense just going through me, just like, you know, wow, you know, this. I'm glad there's no fatalities.
Words cannot describe what we're seeing right now. A whole neighborhood is out, just battered by this tornado.
There will be a law enforcement person at the intersections controlling access to it, because we are at this point believing that power is being returned to some of the residences and some of the businesses in that area, and we want to make sure that when that does happen, we don't create a more hazardous situation than the severe storm that went through in the beginning.
This is what is left of Capital City Cheer, which is standing, what is left of it at least, behind me, as there are bricks crumbled on the ground and everything is just barren and open. The whole front facade of this building has completely crumbled. As you can see, they have their trophies up in the back corner.
I am standing in what used to be a fenced-in daycare. Now, this is the only 24-hour daycare in Jefferson City. So yes, that means it was open during that tragic tornado and storm that hit this area overnight. But I want you to take a look around me. You can see the uprooted tree behind me over here, and then all of these playground toys completely flipped over. We know right now no one was injured inside of this building, but yes, there were kids in here, there were caregivers in here. So let me show you. On the ground here, you can see kids' clothing, shoes, and toys just scattered around, and here is that brick rubble. You can see a teddy bear scattered among this brick rubble here.
I'm off of Business Highway 54 in Eldon, and we are continuing to find this devastation. You can see just how powerful the winds must have been here. If you take a look, you can see what appears to be metal siding that is wrapped around this broken tree. Now, there are huge broken tree limbs like this throughout the city. And now if you take a look down at the ground, you can see this broken power line.
It's crazy because yesterday we had the emergency declaration for the flooding, and now this suddenly you think flooding doesn't seem as bad when we have this tornado. So it's amazing how things get into a different perspective. So I don't have an update, but we're working on it. We're prepared for that, at least. We weren't expecting to have to be prepared for a tornado, but my goodness, we are prepared for this tornado.
We continue our breaking news coverage after the destructive tornado ripped through the heart of Jefferson City. The National Weather Service is estimating the tornado was an EF3. Wind speeds likely topped out at 160 miles an hour. Now, this is aerial footage right now from our friends at KTVI out of St. Louis. My co-anchor, Ashley Strohmeyer, is in Jefferson City, as she has been since before the tornado hit. Ashley, you grew up in Jeff City, and like other residents, you are amazed by what you're seeing.
You know, Joey, even though I've been out here for what seems like forever, I've been out here since 11:45 after that tornado just tore through this area. Just hearing you say an EF3 tornado with winds of 160 miles per hour ripped through here, I still can't believe it. Even though I've been covering this all day, I still cannot believe that happened in Jefferson City.
I'm completely exhausted. I haven't slept in 29 hours now.
Exhaustion, devastation, and relief for Debbie Lawrence and Lolita Ponder.
Went in and woke her up, and of course, being the true Missourian, she said, "Oh, it's just a flash flood warning."
Fortunately, she convinced her to get down to the basement.
This hole, this is the bed where she would have been in.
This afternoon was a reunion. Two neighbors reminisce about saving a woman's life.
So the neighbor and I ran down there. I busted in her door, and we pulled her out to safety. I hear somebody yelling for help. I'm capable of helping. I'm going to go do it. You know, I don't even know the woman. Never met her before. We've only lived here for a month, but she needed help, and we went and helped her.
You're a hero in this situation.
I'm not a hero. I just got somebody out from a dangerous situation. Anybody would do it, wouldn't they?
If you take a look behind me right here, this carport, the walls have just been ripped apart. Now I'm going to continue walking over here and show you that signs like this one, several people have told me that they have come from just blocks away. And if we keep heading over this way, you can actually see one of the power line poles. It is just hanging by the power lines. Owners of this house took me inside. Glass and parts of a torn-up ceiling litter the floor.
I saw this, and it's like, you don't realize how precious life is.
Many people still have to deal with the damage, like Rhonda Shell's mother.
She obviously had some angels looking over her, because her house, yes, it has damage, but nothing like the destruction you see here.
Now, there are 2 more shelters in Eldon, and more than 100 people have visited those today. Now, I was in Eldon this morning, and a large portion of the town is without power. The executive director of the Red Cross says the power outage is crippling for the town. I'm told nearly every store and restaurant is closed, so people who have lost everything can't get any food or any amenities.
Before she could get me up out of the recliner, she had to get on top of me to keep debris off the tornado was done coming through.
So she had to protect you?
Yeah. And the air was the suction was so hard, it sucked her and I and the recliner straight forward up into the ceiling.
Seems like everyone is hard at work in Jefferson City. Tonight we've heard several stories of neighbors helping neighbors. One woman told me that she was pulled out by neighbors from her home following the storm, and she still somehow manages to keep a sense of humor. Several homes on Stadium Boulevard in Jefferson City were leveled by the overnight tornado, but Amanda Morris managed to keep the jokes coming while she showed me around the extensive damage.
I did actually watch the back half of my house fall more off today. So that was super fun.
She was in her bathroom during the storm and watched as the walls around her flew away.
I could see into my bedroom and watched as I lost my roof. That's really nice when you have a gaping hole in your roof and you can actually see the tornado. It's beautiful. No, it's scary.
Entire rooms of the home gone. Trees were uprooted and slammed onto neighboring buildings. Even though it's not clear where she could call home next, Amanda is keeping her spirits high.
It's the only way it's going to work is to have a little bit of humor about it. I mean, I didn't lose my life.
Yeah.
My kids are safe, and I have renter's insurance. So I'm adulting all over the place.
Obviously, the cleanup effort is ongoing. We've heard from several people about short-term plans where people are moving tonight and for the next several days, but it doesn't seem like anybody has a long-term plan or any idea when they could move back into their homes.